else, like Ray Galea, perhaps, to come up and preach, or Al Stewart. There were contacts that came out of that. I met with them one-to-one, and we evangelised them, and some people were converted. We had a couple of other things running at the time. We began very early in the piece. In fact, the very first year we began, we ran an urban mission, which is like a beach mission, just not at the beach. And you know, we had a team of perhaps 25 or less than that, and we had a number of kids come along, and they were really the things we did in the early days, apart from training the Christians.
Yep. You, when we were chatting the other day about all of this and working out how to tackle the interview, you mentioned that one of the things, but I don't know whether you felt it at the time, but at least as you look back, you realise how much the unique ministry and gifts that Andrew Hurd brought into the mix, how that actually benefited your ministry as the mission guy. Do you want to kind of unpack a little bit of that reflection about how, in some ways, you were building off of that kind of preaching ministry?
Yeah, I guess as we've reflected on it, it's a bit ground war and air war. You know, it's you want to move people to think differently about life, and the pulpit ministry I think, is a massive part of that. You can do a bunch of things down in the trenches with people, but unless Sunday by Sunday, Saturday by Saturday, week by week, as you consider the scriptures together, unless you're winning the war of helping people think differently about life, and the majority of that, of course, is taking place in the pulpit, I don't think you'll get, you know, you won't get the wins you'd like to get. I think Andrew, you know, we've got a preaching team at EV now, but I think, to my mind, the key in all of that is it's preaching that actually tackles people's worldview.
And that's going to help you both with that's going to help your Christians, isn't it, in terms of helping them realise why evangelise? As well as help the non-Christian who's sitting in on church, and for them to have those underlying assumptions challenged. Is that kind of what you're talking about there?
Well, it's certainly